Okay, and welcome back to the channel. Obviously, I've got a special guest with me, none other than my boy, Man United representative, wearing the 2008 blue jersey, Abz Busquets.
Yeah, first of all, I'm just gutted that the media guy got the first special guest.
Mr. Win, please.
Yeah, Mr. Win, please.
Oh, it should have been you.
It should have been me the whole
But I
time.
feel like it
But
made
first
sense.
of all, can I just say, I'm so happy that Liban started his channel! We've been meaning to this, man. I'm waiting.
I feel like it's
Pending.
Yeah, it's been a long wait. Everyone always asks me like, "Oh, you gonna do it? When are you gonna do it?" And I'm like, I'm not sure. But finally, I've got into it now, and it's gonna be a good journey, man. As long as we're having fun, and as long as the viewers are having fun, that's all that matters to me. So, and of course, we got another fun video today.
Yes, sir.
Okay, today we are going to be grading Manchester United's summer transfer window. We're gonna be looking at every single signing that we've made in the summer, and we're gonna be giving them a grade, so from A to E. And then we'll kind of discuss why we've given the grades that we've given. You, if you want to do you, yeah. What's the GCSE grade saying? How many ATCs did you get?
13.
13. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair play. I didn't do that many GCSEs. That's fair. I got 8.
Yeah,
fair play.
Everything after that went down.
Yeah.
But
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be grading each one. So the first one we're going to start with our biggest signing of the summer, which is Benjamin Sesko. Obviously, we signed him from RB Leipzig. Big price tag with him.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had a reputation as well, being as one of the hottest, youngest strikers in Europe. What do you think of that transfer?
I think it's one for the future. It's a potential signing of what he could become. I won't lie. I said this in the GC as well when it was announced. I don't have much data on him from what he did at Leipzig, but what we knew from him is that he's a good footballer, which is something very important for me. Technical foundation is solid. He can link up play and make his players around him better. Because the things about number 9 in this modern day, first of all, the market for them is limited. And we saw that by the domino effect of how many strikers moved to different clubs in this window. But with Sesko, a good foundation, technical foundation, unbelievable ball striking. And we saw that when he was playing for his country, for his club. We saw some absolute wonder goals that this guy had scored. So on his first couple of performances, I still haven't yet to judge him as of right now, just due to the fact there's been sub appearances. We haven't actually had to see him. Well, I think he started the last game as well, but it seems tough for him to adapt just yet to the Premier League. But I think there's potential there, and due to the fact that so many other big clubs were in and around looking for him, is a good indication that most clubs have a good idea of what he's going to become in the future, and that's what it is with Sesko.
I have to be honest.
Talk to me. That's what I like about you, man.
He wasn't my first option, man.
Yeah, okay.
You know who my first option was?
Man with the meaty mask.
Boom. Mateta.
No, I can't lie. That guy.
I can't lie to you, that was my first option, man. I had a vision, man.
I see the vision.
Cunha, obviously we'll come to talk to him in a sec. Mateta and Mbeumo. That was the vision I had in my head. The football.
That would have been beautiful.
Link up.
And it would have been immediate as well.
It would have been immediate. Premier League proven. Obviously, so that was my first option. I wasn't mad at the Sesko deal. Obviously, he came with a big price, 76 million. What do you think about the price? Do you think it was a fair price?
The pricing is expected for someone that young, especially with the amount of suitors that were going for him as well. He was obviously Arsenal's first choice striker as well, as much as they might want to deny it now that he signed for United. But I think it makes sense. I expected the price tag. I did expect that price tag, and I thought it would be something like that. But when we have the strikers that we've had in the previous season, you go and you try and sign that level of talent almost immediately. But just because of the Højlunds and Xerxes as well, they haven't really impacted the club.
And that's my thing though. That's my problem. This window, I really wanted us to get a striker that I felt like was, at their prime years, entering their prime years at least. It's already.
Who's going to play their best years in the club?
Basically, I feel like obviously we had Van Persie years ago. Obviously a bit older, but again was in his prime years. Gave us like about 2-3 good years.
Top
and
years.
And I felt like because of the fact that we've signed project strikers, we've seen it not really work out for Højlund. We've seen it not really yet.
That's what you were nervous about
for Xerxes, and I was like, going in for another young striker, 22 years of age, from not having played in the Premier League. Yes, he's got potential. Yes, he's got the stature. He's 6'5". He's aerial. He's a threat. He's technically good. But it's getting a striker for that amount of money from abroad, from obviously the Bundesliga. I always felt like there's still, no matter how good they are, there's always that element of risk. Whereas I felt like if we'd gone for someone like a Mateta, who's 28 years of age, going into the last couple of years of his contract, I think we could have got a cheaper deal for a player that would have given us instant impact, and that was my thing. Nothing that I have against Sesko. It's just that I felt like for this Man United team, the fact that we were lacking goals last season, I just felt like we needed someone that's going to just come in and immediately get us the goals. And I felt like Mateta just fit the profile. I think he's on hot. Last couple of years, he's just been hot. He's just been at it. And you already see in this season, he's already started off with a bang. So I just felt like he kind of made sense. But again, nothing against Sesko. I do think, again, I understand the deal. He's a player of young age with huge potential. And so it kind of makes sense. And obviously, he hasn't had the greatest starts, but we know he hasn't had preseason as well.
Yeah.
People like to
Which is huge.
People like to ignore that context, the fact that he had literally no minutes of football this summer. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to, for myself, and this is me, a personal thing, I'm going to give it a grade B.
Okay.
Because I don't think he was our first option.
I don't think B is bad, but just two things that came to mind just there. Ineos have been going for this in general. Yeah. They wanted the age and wage thing is a big thing. They wanted to come in immediately, make sure the wages aren't too crazy and there's a good structure at the club, and there are young talent available there. I think that's probably the reason why they pipped him over Mateta. Like I said, I see the logic and I see the vision behind why you're saying that. But another thing is we can't let the scars of the past windows affect how we approach windows in the future. So I know we signed
lessons from the past as well.
No, I hear you, but maybe they made that mistake with Højlund, who's now gone off to Napoli, and I hope he does whatever he's doing over there. Yeah. But we can't let the scars of spending 70 million on a young striker that didn't work out stop us from spending 70 million on someone that could work out.
Actually, we did sign another one.
Yeah.
But what would you grade it anyway? What would you grade Sesko?
I don't think B is bad. It depends on his potential. So in terms of the fact that he's 21 and will spend potentially 10 years at Man United, it could become an A. Yeah. So I'll be with you at B, but I think it could become an A.
Okay, perfect. So we're giving Benjamin Sesko a B, a grade B. So we're going to now move on to our second player, which is Bryan Mbeumo. Obviously, we signed him for 75 million euros from Brentford. What do you think of that signing?
It's off the Sir Alex Ferguson mode, and we'll speak about the next two players. Probably saying the same thing, similar things about the two of them. It's instant talent, it's instant impact. Someone that's going to affect the first team today, straight away. I'll be honest, the same that you were just honest about Sesko there. I saw the first couple of preseason games and I was wary about him. I was like, I need to see something here. He showed me a couple of flashes, and it looks like he can play and link up with the players around him, but I still need to see maybe that bit of killer instinct from him. Yeah. Last couple of games, I think we've seen a bit of that. It might have been a horrible, disastrous day for Man United, but the Grimsby goal, I was like, okay, you open your bank. Then we saw the game against Burnley, bank at Old Trafford as well. He did miss the penalty against Grimsby as well, but didn't let that affect him going into the next game. Showed that good mentality there. Surefire, instant talent straight into the first team. I was very happy with the Mbeumo sign, and I'll tell you my grade now is an A straight away for that.
What I love about that signing for me is the fact that we're kind of reverting back to what we used to do under Sir Alex.
Absolutely.
Which is signing Premier League proven quality players. So looking around the Premier League, looking at the best players of maybe the lesser teams and just nabbing them.
The only thing Sir Alex would have done extra in this window is sign Isak.
Oh,
that's 100%. The only thing Sir Alex would have done.
He would have signed Isak.
He would have been Isak, Cunha and Mbeumo straight away off the bat.
No, 100%.
That's what he would have done.
I'm glad that we are reverting back to that model of, signing some of the best talents in the league, maybe outside of the top 6.
Absolutely.
So, which is good. Obviously, Mbeumo, like you said, there's not much you said that I'm not going to say. I think instant impact, player of high quality, a player that, that's got output, can create goals, score goals, and can actually take on their defenders. I think that's something that we've really lacked on that right-hand side. I can't remember the last time we've had a winger on the right-hand side of the pitch. Obviously, Aman coming to last season.
Yeah, but I'm thinking Cristiano.
Cristiano might be the last one. Valencia don't count.
Valencia don't count,
He just run down to the corner flag.
Absolutely.
He just run down to the...
And Mata would just be playing 10 somewhere. So he went on the right-hand side either.
Lingard and all of these guys, they weren't really...
Di Maria maybe for a couple of months, but that's it, really.
Yeah, but then even he moved a bit central.
He went central as well, it's true.
So
proper right wingers we haven't had.
I'm telling you, we haven't had a proper right winger like Mbeumo since Cristiano Ronaldo, which is scary to say because you're literally wearing the jersey
that he was playing.
In. It's mental. That's the last time.
The guy came back. Cristiano came back to the club before we had a right winger.
Bro, it's crazy.
It's ridiculous,
It's mad. So, I'm glad that we finally have that player and that profile of player at the club. It's a player that I do feel like, he's of a good age. He's entering also his prime years as
Absolutely.
well. So we are still yet, I feel like,
as old as he might look. Yeah,
as old as he might look.
He's voluntarily bold. He's voluntarily bold. He's one of them.
By choice.
Big up Ilias, man. What are you grading him?
I'm going to grade him at A as well. I'm going to be with you. I think it's an A. Everything about that deal makes perfect sense. So it's only right that I give that one an A. So I'm moving on to a player of very similar. It's a very similar type of deal. Obviously, Matheus Cunha. We got him from Wolves. Let me just get up the fee just to make sure
62.5, I think it was.
Yeah, 74.2 million euros. Obviously, I've got the euros here up on my screen just to make sure that the figures are accurate because you know what people like to do online.
All of a sudden he's 90 million.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Lukaku.
They always add 10, 15 million. Why is it always Man United deals, yeah?
Brother.
They add another 10, 15 million extra.
I remember seeing the Lukaku deal when I know we signed him for £75 million. And I'm looking at this and he's £100 million.
Yeah, I said, nah,
come on, man.
Nah.
What the hell is this, man?
It's crazy. So that's why I got to make sure that I'm saying
have it all in the same.
You can't then now tell me next year that we signed for 90 million.
Come on, man.
I can see it here. Don't lie to me.
It's right there.
Yeah, so Matheus Cunha, obviously, we're saying it's a similar type of signing to what we
discussed with Mbeumo just now.
Mbeumo, what's your thoughts on Matheus Cunha?
I remember I said this to a couple of friends of mine and they raised eyebrows, and this is before he kicked the ball for Man United. He's a proper maverick. And I was on Sky Sports Saturday Social when I spoke about 10 players that are destined for a move in the Premier League, and he was number one for me because there was already the links to Manchester United. And he is versatile. And like I said on that episode, I said he can play in the 9, which he's played so far. He can play in that left end, which he's played so far. Impact the game, create chances, score goals. He has been so unfortunate. He has been so unfortunate not to get a goal so far. But what he is that swagger. That Manchester United player. That the weight of the shirt doesn't... You see how Manchester... We've tried even Selena...
Even us... Our posture changed. Why is our posture changed now?
Changed the whole posture of the man them. Because this is just... He knows what it means to hold the weight of the shirt.
And also, he knows how good he is.
He does.
He's confident in his ability. He knows.
Arrogancia,
Yeah.
Arrogancia, no? Confidencia, no?
Confidencia.
Sí, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's real. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but he's Portuguese. His name is Spanish.
Yeah, his name is Spanish. I've even done it. Para duro bailao, but he's just a player.
Baila.
And that's what he's on though.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell when he'll score his goals, he'll give us a bit of
he does.
swagger.
He's got that arrogance that you need to play for Manchester United. I always feel like there's a difference in terms of when we say arrogance, there is a good level of arrogance that you do need, but also you do need to get the balance on point, because when the arrogance gets a bit too much, then it starts to become a bit toxic. But I think the type of arrogance that he's got is perfect.
Absolutely.
I think he's got enough arrogance to know how good he is. He's got enough arrogance to wear the shirt, because that shirt is heavy. We know how it's right now. I feel it.
It's heavy.
It's like 30.
It's heavy, man. I'm actually losing weight.
It's like 30 kg.
Yeah, I'm losing weight.
It's 30 kg.
I'm losing weight while I wear the shirt. That's how heavy it is.
Come on, bro.
But it's like what you mentioned, the difference in confidence and arrogance. It's like, would you want a Cunha son or a Garnacho daughter?
Crazy. That would do Garnacho son or Garnacho daughter.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
Mental.
But I'm just saying, confidence and an arrogance when you think you're better than what you are. I will get onto my man, but for me, Cunha easily an A. Easily an A. And straight into the first team, brings that level of quality, makes people around him look better, will score a bag of goals for Manchester United, and I'm sure his stock will only improve.
Every time he gets the ball, I'm always excited. I always feel like there's something's going to haple when
it was the Arsenal game. Do you know the one where he got that shot off out of nowhere, where he slipped in between Rice and Saliba and created a shot that Bryan saved excellently on the line? That just shows the quality that he has and what he can do on the football pitch.
No. So we're going to grade that an A?
Yeah, most certainly. Cunha's easily an A signing.
Cunha, we are giving him an A as well. Okay, so the next player we're going to move on to is 18-year-old Diego Leon. We know that we signed him from Paraguay, right?
Yeah.
For 4 million euros, quite cheap. Obviously, this is a player that we don't know much about.
Yeah.
Prior to coming to the club, we know that he plays on the left-hand side. He can play in the wing-back position. He can play in the traditional full-back position. Does look quite massive for his age though, quite big.
He's a big boy.
And it was obviously
stocky, proper
very
stocky.
The legs are thick for 18-year-olds. That's some thick legs. I know it sounds crazy what I'm saying, but he's just huge, bro. Like physically, he already looks like a bit of a tank, you know.
Yeah. Proper fullback build, innit?
Yeah, proper fullback build. Obviously, he's probably a signing for the future.
Yeah.
We may see him get a Premier League debut this season. Maybe get some minutes at some point. What do you think of that signing?
Yeah, I think it was made in January, wasn't it?
It was
made in January. He was staying at the club that he was at. Yeah, it's so Ineos, so data driven. So I'm saying it's up and coming potential. Left back, left wing back. So he kind of fits in with the manager's system at the same time as well. We saw him in pre-season. I'm not judging this kid anytime soon. Felt an interesting one for the development of Harry Amas, for example, because he's gone out on loan now with United covering all of his wages also. I was like, those two seem like similar modes. Maybe they go with Diego Leon, and that's the person that they want to give their vote of confidence to. So we'll have to wait and see how he does. It's not someone I judge for the first team right now. And yeah, we'll see how he does. We'll see how he progresses.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because obviously I don't think we're quite stacked in that left wing back position.
Yeah,
obviously,
we do need bodies there.
Dorgu,
Just Dorgu.
We also Luke Shaw potentially could play
do
in
a
that
job
position.
out there. Yeah.
But we know how we know about the injury record with Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
And obviously, if Dorgu was to get injured, maybe there's a pathway for him to get some minutes.
Yeah.
So the pathway is there for him. There is a clear pathway for him. It just be interesting to see obviously how he develops and what sort of minutes he gets, and how that kind of goes on for him for this season. So it's very hard to judge. I'm with you. I'll just give it a C. Flat C.
C seems fair. Yeah, he could do well. The good thing about signing is it's like a different variation.
There's no expectations.
There's no expectations on it. We've signed first team players, ones for the future. It's not an issue. Even if you find that times that he plays with the under 18s or under 23s, whatever, we can see that for his development. Looks like he's getting along with some of the boys. What we see on all the clips that we get from them.
They did say they were quite impressed with him in pre-season.
Yeah.
That was the reports that were coming out. So, but that's because they were going to send him out on loan. They were thinking about sending him out on loan, and they saw how he trained.
Which wouldn't have surprised me.
They were like, okay, now we're going to keep him. So.
I
mean, the noise around him is quite positive.
Yeah.
So we'll
keep an eye on that.
We're both excited.
We'll keep an eye on
that one kind of develops. So the last player we got obviously is the goalkeeper. Obviously, this one had a bit of drama involved coming into the last day. Obviously, there was talks about Emi Martinez or Senne Lammens. Obviously, we ended up going for Senne Lammens for 21 million euros. Obviously, we signed him from Royal Antwerp from the Belgian league. Quickly on your thoughts. From the reports, we know that we were in talks for both keepers at the same time, and obviously we had to make a choice. We ended up choosing Senne Lammens. Do you think that was the right choice?
It's an interesting one because a goalkeeper's lifespan isn't the same as any other position on the pitch. So it's not one where they get, we want to get the younger player for the sake of age, wage, all that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily think it's one of those situations. I know we're linked with Donnarumma earlier, and his wages were way too high for United to even be interested. So there is a limit to that. But with these two goalkeepers, I saw credit in both of them. And I said this on the SDS call-in live stream as well. Where it's like, I can see the benefit in getting someone like Emi Martinez, who has what we were talking about almost with Cunha. That arrogance, and he has that character and personality to be a Manchester United goalkeeper and be able to hold one of the heaviest shirts of the heavy shirts, which is goalkeeper at Manchester United. But at the same time, they've gone more for the more data-driven. They've seen that this guy's coming off a really, really good season. Could be one that is potentially go straight into the first team. Well, we need him to go straight into the first team with the two that we have in net currently. But we need him to have a really good start almost immediately. So he's got a bit of pressure on him.
No, 100%.
So there is certain pressure on him immediately, regardless of if he was an experienced keeper or not. Both Emi and Lammens would have had a lot of pressure coming in. But we'll have to wait and see with such little data compared to Emi Martinez, which we've seen so much of in the Premier League. For Argentina, we have so much data on Emi Martinez. Not all good data. Like, there are clear question marks about Emi Martinez, and the errors that he had leading straight to goals last season was the most out of any goalkeeper in the Premier League, including our own bozos that we have in net. So, I think that's why they've gone with Lammens, probably less of a risky goalkeeper. They know they need to be safer in terms of their bet. Hence, they've gone with the numbers and the data. We'll have to see how he does on the character side of things.
Yeah, and I agree. Obviously, again, like you said earlier, it is a data-driven move. It is a move that they've looked at his age. They looked at the price. They've looked at the stats that he had from last season over the last couple of years.
One of the best performing keepers in all of Europe.
Of course, with context, there are some underlying context to this.
He's facing a lot of shots. He will get a lot more saves than other keepers.
So, also scored a goal. I don't know if you've seen that.
He scored a goal?
He scored a header.
God, he's on the Alisson thing.
Yeah, he's done the Alisson thing before.
Yeah.
He scored a goal for Club Brugge before. So, so if we ever need a last-minute goal, we can maybe count on him to get that. But all in all, I think it's a very strategic move. I think it was a move that was well planned in some aspects, because I do need to also still criticize it a little bit, because I do feel like if this was really your first choice keeper, you would have wrapped this deal done 4 or 5 days ago. The fact that you let it stretch to this literally the last hours of the window, and the fee is not even a lot. So even if you are trying to hassle on the fee, it wasn't much of a difference, So for me, what that tells me is that they were caught between two minds. They were really caught on whether or not they should go for a Premier League proven.
Do you think we could have signed both? And do you think that would have been a good idea?
I think we could have signed both had we got rid of at least one of them. If we had got rid of Onana, I think if we got rid of Onana, because he still has some value, there's still a price tag on him. I think we could have got a substantial fee for Onana.
I agree.
If we managed to offload him, then they might have opened up the door for 2 goalkeepers. But I think because of the fact that obviously we still got Bryan there, Onana at the club. So I think
it's tough to do that with Heaton there.
I think all in all, I think it was the best business decision, because obviously with Emi Martinez, obviously you got the wage that you got to give him, and then of course the fee is a lot higher, and it's a bit more of a gamble. Is it really more of a gamble?
It's a tough one to say.
It's a hard one because it's like
he has the experience, but at the same time he has the issues that some of our goalkeepers have as well.
And that's
why I feel a bit
uneasy.
There's risk attached to both of
them,
them.
and that's what it is for me. It was more that it's a little bit of that uneasy feeling with Martinez. He's a big game player. Don't get twisted.
Oh yeah,
big game player.
Yeah.
You know when it's 5:30 p.m. Saturday
prime time,
he's there. When it's the Super Sunday. He's turning up.
Most certainly.
When
Any Monday night football,
he's turning up.
He's there.
If it's a Champions League night, I know we're not in Champions League.
And then on 3 p.m. on a Saturday, he's gonna let the ball into his own net.
There you go. And this season we are 3 p.m. We are 3 p.m. team. So we can't afford to have a goalkeeper like that.
I agree.
So, I mean, all in all,
what would you say? What would you grade it?
I would grade it. Honestly,
I'm thinking BC.
I'm giving it B because we addressed it. One of the areas that we really, really had to address.
Yeah.
We could not go into the season with just Onana Bayinda and Heaton, who we never see. He might have to be a goalkeeper coach at this point because we never see him. So I'm really happy that we addressed that situation.
Yeah.
Of course, in terms of how well this keeper will do, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
But I'll take that over nothing.
Yeah.
And which is why I'll give it a B.
Yeah.
And I'm also giving it a B because of how feasible and how low risk that deal is.
Most certain.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a B. What are you going to give
it? I'm fine with a B. I'm fine with a B. Probably edging more towards a C, but I understand why we go for a B, and I don't mind. We'll go for a B.
Perfect. So, Abz, what would you grade our summer transfer window of 2025?
You guys are going to think I'm crazy. Because we have just said that there's a couple A signings in there, a couple B signings in there. So you might be thinking, that must be in and around that kind of area. But one of the biggest headlines of this transfer window is what we didn't actually get in through the door. And that is not addressed. We spoke about how long the right wing hasn't been addressed since Cristiano. We haven't addressed our midfield since Carrick retired. We have not addressed our midfield since Michael Carrick retired. Like, that's how long ago it was. We have not had a controlling midfielder. Someone can get on the ball under some pressure, get out of that pressure, and pass the ball and progress the ball continuously through the midfield. We haven't had that. So overall, considering I know we were linked with Baleba and we did try, I got to give him credit in the fact that they did try. But the fact that we have closed the window right now without signing a midfielder means I'm ranking this transfer window a D. That is the ranking I'm giving.
A D?
Yeah. Talk to me. Talk to me, Liban.
That's tough.
It's not easy.
Okay, I agree with a lot of what you said. I think the biggest area of concern, one of the biggest areas, along with the goalkeeper issue, one of the biggest areas of concern was the midfield area.
Our goalkeeper and midfield.
The midfield, 100%.
And I think the midfield is the most important.
I think it is most important. 100%, I do agree with that. No, actually, not take that back.
Oh, maybe the goal scored. The goal scored.
I think the goal scoring first is an issue because we weren't scoring goals.
Hence why we got Cunha in straight away.
And we got the whole front three in straight away. So I do think the midfield is just as important. I'm not going to take away the importance of it.
I agree, actually. Maybe just the goals was a little bit more important.
I feel like we've addressed 2 out of the 3 areas that needed to be addressed.
Yeah.
And also in the manner in which we addressed it, we brought in players of good quality, players with potential, with high potential as well, in Sesko, let's say, and also Lammens. So, of course, yes, we're missing the midfielder that we needed.
We both have clear question marks about the 9 and the keeper.
No, we do.
That we've gone in.
No, but because
so it's not surefire that we've solved those issues, if that makes sense. Hence why that also plays into overall grading I've given.
And I understand that. I understand your thought process behind it, but I just think for me, because we've addressed it, with players that are going to give us instant impact, but also players that can give us potential as well. And I also think some of the fees involved in all of those, I think the fees...
I think quite reasonable.
Yeah, I think the fees in all of those deals have been quite reasonable. So I would personally say, without the midfielder, it's a C+ for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a C+.
Okay.
I don't think
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I think a C+ is fair. I don't want to give it a B because I think a B is too generous. The B is basically saying you did well.
Yeah.
I think they did just about what they needed to do for us to at least have a decent season.
We'll have to wait and see.
So for me, obviously we have to wait and see how the season goes. But I think they've addressed it enough.
That's very fair.
And I think they've also decided they're going to be patient with the midfielder and maybe go back in January if they are to then spend big on whatever midfield targets that we have. Maybe a Baleba, maybe a Wharton. Who knows how we're going to address that. Yeah. So I like the fact that we addressed 2 of the 3 areas. I like the fact that we didn't panic buy for a midfielder because that's the last week we needed.
Yeah, we did that with Casemiro.
I was hearing Conor Gallagher links and I was getting scared. So this is my thing. So that's why I'm glad we didn't panic buy. I'm glad that we addressed 2 out of 3 areas. And I'm also glad that we got rid of the bomb squad, if we haven't mentioned.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously a couple, 1 or 2 maybe remain behind. Tyrone
Malacia, I think, is really the main one that's been left behind. But Anthony, Marcus Rashford, Sancho, and Garnacho all gone. From 4 out of the 5 that were secluded from that, I think that gets a vote of confidence for sure.
So for
that's
me,
them telling the manager we agree.
There you go.
We're
So
in the
for me,
same page.
entirely, I'm gonna give it
I think that's very
a
fair.
C plus.
I'd say D+, but I'll stick with my D.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
problem.
Anyways, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to also follow up Abz. Abz has also got a YouTube channel. Do you want to put your socials and your...
Yeah, Abz Busquets everywhere. On Twitch and YouTube mainly is where I'm going to see most of my content. So make sure you're there, joining the Abz army as well. And big shout out to Liban and all you guys are doing together as well. I can't wait to see how that progresses. And hopefully I'm back on here again soon.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm trying to do more of these videos, obviously, with some of the other SDS boys as well. But it'll be...
I'm glad I was the first.
The first out of SDS boys.
Yeah, because that guy got banned. The
other one,
first
we can't speak about him.
Yeah, we can't
No,
even talk about him, man.
name.
Yeah,
Okay.
win please.
Okay.
Peace.